So last day, I was telling you working with the Visual Studio. Have you tried it? Able to create a virtual directory, application, site, all three. I'm not getting response. Are you practicing? Then respond properly. Yeah. Okay. Everyone got it. Any problems to anyone? If anyone has an issue, get your laptops tomorrow to the classroom. If anyone has an issue, not today, tomorrow, get your laptops to the classroom. Yeah, if it is working fine, no issues. Suman, talk with your admin, please. I posted up the notes for the first stack students also. A separate Google Classroom is created. I posted the notes just now into the Google Classroom. The notes is available. That's yesterday. I given the videos also for all of them. Okay. So you cannot access. If you are connected in Wi-Fi, you can't access yet. Wi-Fi is different. Network is different. If you want to access from other devices, you're required to host on a public server. We'll talk about it later. Just right now, the process is only for how to work with IES. That's it. What I explained is how to work with the IES server. Okay, fine. So today, let's start from here. So we understood how to create a web pages and access through a web server. Mainly, why I taught you about this concept. See, finally, guys, this is what we have done in the last class. What we have first? Default web server. So this is my server name. Actually, I've taken a screenshot at my home. So in my home, the name is admin. In the classroom, the name is NIT. But both are server only. And is a default website. Under that, I created two sites for you. Site 1, site 2. This is application icon. This is virtual directory icon. Application and virtual directory icons will be different, I said in the last class. And these are the two sites. One is NIT site 1. I shown you how to change the code and run. Second one, how to give your own domain name and run. How to give your person name and how to use a domain name and run. So totally all these are the things what I created under our IES. I put a screenshot also for that in the notes to you. Totally whatever you have created. Well, guys, today we'll start with ASP.NET MVC 5. Remember, MVC came first, followed by MVC core. MVC came first in the market here, followed by MVC core. What we have first is MVC only. So today in the industry, there are a lot of projects. There are a lot of projects which are developed in MVC and running on MVC. So that is why first let me give you a clear knowledge of how to work with MVC. Is it clear? This works on .NET framework. This works on .NET framework, not on .NET core. It's going to work on the .NET framework. So why I'm telling about this is, guys, listen one thing. What 2020 onwards only this .NET 5, .NET 6, all this became popular. Earlier, there are multiple projects that are developed in .NET framework. So you go start working in a company, don't expect like from day one you will be building applications. There will be so many maintenance projects. 70% of the projects for every company is maintenance only, and maintenance projects only will be better, good revenues than the development projects. So in the starting days of the C#, I said, remember, development revenue for a company is 30% only. Maintenance revenue is 70%. So a lot of money comes to the company through project maintenance than project development. So in this process, all of us should be first familiar, like working with the old also, working with the old. So already a project has been developed 10 years back. Imagine a project has been developed 10 years back. At that time, we don't have .NET Core. We don't have .NET Core then they would have developed this particular application by using .NET framework now. And these projects are still under maintenance now. Companies are using them. So we need to have knowledge on framework projects also. That is why first I'm starting with MVC 5. No, sir. I'm developing a new project. If I develop a new project, then we don't use MVC5. What we use? MVC core. What we use is MVC core. So right now we use MVC, not 5 MVC, but new projects means MVC core. That is why I'm giving you knowledge on both. First, let us work with the MVC, and the last version of MVC is MVC5. Yesterday I showed you the version is 5.1.9 or something. 5.9 or 1.9? 2.9. 5 only, MVC 5 only. Okay. Under what we have? 2.9. MVC 6 won't come. Are you getting me? MVC 6 won't come. Microsoft will always make changes at 2.9, 3, 5.3, like this only. It will be on 5 only, guys. It won't go to 6 at all. That's why we call 5.x. What we call 5.x. Afterwards, what we have? 4. So first we will start with MVC 5. Let's learn MVC 5. Then finally we'll go with MVC core 8. Core MVC 8. Both the two versions will work. Okay? Fine. See, this is I'm not saying MVC 5. Simply I'll say MVC. This is the first version of MVC launched by Microsoft along with .NET Framework. Not along with .NET Framework, by Microsoft, which works on .NET Framework. Not along with .NET Framework, which works on .NET Framework. Is it clear? And the current or the latest version of MVC is 5.x, which we call as MVC 5, which we call as MVC 5. The exact version is 5.2.9, but what we call MVC 5. That's it. Are you clear? So first I'm going to start from here only. We will see how to build applications by MVC 5 clearly first. And once we are done, then I'll teach you code. Okay? But code on .NET Core. This one on .NET Framework. Okay? When the time comes, I'll tell you, yeah. See, because you know something, don't ask me something in the middle. My sequence won't change. Talk to your admin, someone. Yes, I'm going to teach you both MVC and MVC core. Okay. Well, fine. How to work with this MVC? How to work with MVC? See, listen, you want to develop a console application. What you do? You create a project of type console app. You want to work with a web application. You create a project of type web app. You want to create a desktop application. You will create a project of type desktop. Whatever type of application you want to develop, you're going to select a project template of the type now. Same way, if at all you want to do a web application, or if you want to develop a web application, what you require to do? You need to create a project of type web application now. You require to create a project of type web application. So, observe all of you. Let me open the studio. You have a knowledge of fundamental coding. I don't require to give you an introduction to Visual Studios and all to you. Okay, create a new project. If you remember earlier, what was selected? C#, Windows, console. We built console applications. Yes or not? And also sometimes we choose libraries. But now what we are choosing is web. We're choosing web. When we select web, guys, it will show the list of the projects we can develop by using web. And all of you very clearly watch it. All core projects are explicitly shown to you as core. See, in ASP.NET Core, we have 3 options. I said, you remember? First option, Razor Pages. Second option, Web API. It is a Web API. And this is empty project. That is an empty project. Yeah. MVC. MVC project. Clear? Three options. What is it? MVC, Web API, Web apps, Razor pages. We'll talk on all. Okay, ignore it. No, don't bother about now. Scroll down, guys. Where you'll find ASP.NET Web Application.NET Framework. Be clear, all of you. You must choose this project. And what in spite I say again, they select the .NET Core project and SAR it is not working as you said. I'm not teaching you .NET Core now. So don't forget, when you're selecting in the brackets, it has to show you as .NET Framework. Clear? Once you open, if you see web application, don't select whatever you want. You must clearly select ASP.NET Web Application.NET Framework. See that? You can create ASP.NET Web Forms, MVC, or that's what we discussed in the day 1. Under ASP.NET, 3 options are there. What are the 3? Web Forms, 2. MVC, 3. Web API. You can build anything you want, you like it is selling now. So first select the project and see that it works purely on Windows. It works purely on the Windows. Can be hosted on cloud. Cloud means server, public server can be hosted on the cloud server. And the C# language, web application. Understood? Come on, let's click on the next button. Now, when you click on the next button, you know all these things. Enter a project name. Enter a project name. Let me see what name I used in the notes. So let's match with exactly with the notes so that you don't have any confusions again. So the names what I used in the notes, let me select the same thing here also. MVC test project 1 is what I have given. MVC test project 1. We'll save in our folder here. Yesterday we created one folder. What's it? MVC 11. And you guys know solution name. I don't record it for you. So you know a project name and solution name will always be same. And this is our location. And coming below, which version of the framework you want to use. In this list, whatever you find the latest, select it. No problem here. If you find 4.7.2, select it. No problem. Because when you're installing, I asked you to select all the checkboxes. If you correctly selected all the checkboxes, 4.8 will be in the list for you. Okay. So 4.8 is what I'm selecting. Next, click on the next button. Now see, now it will ask you. What it asks you? Web Forms, MVC, Web API. Are you clear? Here it will ask you. What it asks you? You want to create a Web Forms application, MVC application, Web API. All these are part of ASP.NET. That's what I said to you yesterday also. ASP.NET is not different. MVC is not different. That's what I said to you. MVC is a part of ASP.NET. First, you are building an ASP.NET application. Under that, you need to select Web Forms or MVC or Web API. Is my point clear, all of you? So first one is empty. If you select this one, later you can decide whether it is Web Forms or MVC or Web API. See that all the things carefully. Empty. When you select empty, now on the other side it will provide you some checkboxes. And here we select now. What is it? Web Forms. It will create you all the folders and references required for Web Forms. If I select MVC, it will add all the references and folders for MVC. If I select Web API, it will add folders and references for Web API. What are the folders and references? Yes, guys, to work with something, some references should be added. Every project will have some references by default. For developing all projects, you don't have the same references now. We have different references. For console application, different references are required. For web application, different references are required. References to assemblies. References to library assemblies. Your library assemblies. See, what is it telling you? Add folders and code reference. It will add you a different set of folders for Web Forms and a different references for it. Same way, for MVC to do you differently. Same way for Web API to do you separately. So now, what your choice should be? Select empty and afterwards select what you want. What do you want? This is one style of doing it. Second option is directly select a MVC project. If select an MVC project, see, already selected. Then why these two options like this here? Actually, guys, when I select empty, just call the admin, please. Please hold on, guys. Okay. So just look at here. What is the difference between selecting MT and difference between selecting MVC? Actually, when you select MT, a blank project comes. As the name tells you, it's blank project. Will not provide you any sample code at all. You must write everything manually on your own. But if you go for MVC project, if you go with MVC project, it will provide you some sample code also. Did you understand my point here? It will provide you some sample code also to you. So that is the difference. So that's why initially we'll start with empty projects only, and we will manually add everything on our own. Once we get a knowledge on that, going forward, we'll go for using MVC projects. Is it clear? So first what I'm selecting, empty. And on the right side, don't forget, select MVC checkbox. And also remember, all other checkboxes should be unchecked. Be careful, all other checkboxes should be unchecked. This has to configure for HTTPS. How to work with HTTPS, I'll teach you going forward. Initially, let's not bother about it. Uncheck every other checkbox on the screen. What checkbox should be used only? Only MVC checkbox, select it. Okay, and click on the create button. It will create you an empty project. Yeah, when the project is open, if you go to the solution explorer, guys, you will see this is what I was telling you. It will add you the references and folders that are required. A set of folders are added. What are that? App data, abstract, controllers, models, views, a set of files are there. Are you clear? A set of folders, a set of files will automatically come. Why we selected MVC? Suppose you selected web forms, you will get a different set of folders and different set of files now. If you select web API, then a different set of folders and a different set of files will come. Project to project, it will change of now. Array, earlier we worked with console applications now. Array, nothing comes now, blank, one class comes, program.cs, that's all. We don't get all these things. Correct? So it depends based on the type of application you are developing. Okay. Well, I'll explain you about every folder first. I will explain about each and every folder. And meanwhile, let's do one thing. Let's create one more project now. Just a second. Let me create one more project. Same process, guys. Observe. Should I select .NET framework? Okay, now give a name. Let's give the name as 2. Project name is 2. Location, solution, framework, all same. Now, let's do one thing. Let's select MVC now. Let us select MVC directly. Okay, now? And all the other checkboxes should be unchecked. And click on create. So did you understand what I shown you? First, I selected empty and checked the MVC checkbox. That is one option. Second, I selected MVC. Now, no checkbox is selected because by default MVC is checked. Now also, you have something like this. But now we have some sample code here. Here we don't have a sample code, but here we have sample code. So I just want to demonstrate the difference between the two. Please, online students, please stop your messagings. It is disturbing me the environment here. I will show you both the two things, concentrate. Okay, first understand, then you can ask your questions. Yeah, guys, I am trying to put them side by side. Are you clear? Look at them carefully. First, let me explain you everything in the project first. Before you go there, let's try to understand about every folder and every file in detail first. What is the first one? Connected services. What is this connected services is? Actually, we need this when we want to host our site on a public server. We need this when we are going to host our site on a public server. So using this connected services, we can host our site on a Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure. So we will learn about this in detail going forward. So right now, that is for hosting on a public server, ignore it. Okay. And next, array properties, references, these are all the references. You find them in C# also. I'm not telling anything about these things. Okay, next one. App data. What is app data? Look at this. Both places you have the app data folder. Both are empty only. In both places are empty. How do you say? There is no arrow mark there. Na? Arrow mark not present means no items in that now. The folder is empty. Are you getting me? What is this, sir? This is for storing any local database files. This is for storing any local database files. Actually, not database also, I'll say data source. Remember the term data source? Already in such of classes, everyone I said about data source. What is a data source? Anything capable of storing data is called as a data source. File is a data source. Database is a data source. Anything which can store data is a data source only now. Okay, for your application, you have some data. The data is coming from Excel file. The data is coming from the Excel file, not from SQL server database. It's coming from Excel file or XML file or something. And that's the data for the application now. Where should I keep it? I should keep those type of data under app data folder. App data folder is to put all the local data files. If you have any local data files now, that should be under app data folder. Every folder has an importance there because tomorrow you are developing a big application. Everything in one place will be confusing now. So that's it, better organized in the separate folders. So is everyone clear with app data? What do you store? Any local data files. If you have any local data files like Excel files, XML files, JSON files, these type of files will put under app data folder. Okay, now second one, app start. The second folder is app start. This folder here, this folder contains, this folder can contain 5 classes in it. I repeat, this folder can contain 5 classes in it. And all these 5 classes will start running. All these 5 classes will start running when the first request comes to the web application. When the first request comes to the web application, all of you answer this question. How many times the first request comes to a web application? One time only. What is that? Tomorrow, I developed a website here. I put it on a public server. Will websites stop? Come on here, be active. Will a website stop? 24/7 site will be running continuously like that now. Now my host is live. My site is live. Now the first person made a request to my site now. Someone, I don't know who, but someone made a request now. The first person who makes the request, and that request happens only one time. That is called as a first request. When the first request comes now, at that point of time, all the classes present in this folder will execute. Understand the name of the folder. What is it? Application start. App start means whatever you put in this folder will execute when the application starts its execution. How many files can be present? 5 different types of files can be present here, guys. And what are the 5 are? Look. See the file names. bundleconfig.cs, filterconfig.cs, identityconfig.cs, routeconfig.cs, startup.auth.cs. And you guys know your class name will always be a file name only. So if this is a file name, then what will be the class name here? Same only na. What it contains? Bundle config class, filter config class, identity config class, root config, startup. These are the classes here. So these are the 5 classes that can be present in the folder, not mandatory. That can be present in this folder. But generally come across only these 5 classes in the folder, nothing more than that. Right now, do we have all these 5 set? Do we have all the 5? Let us see. Project 1. Project 1 means blank project, right? How many classes are there? Let us see. One only. What is that? Array, if you expand, you'll see class name. You know this already. Route config is having a class called route config class. Let us go with second project guy. What is that? MVC project. Form is MVC project, right? So let me expand. 3 are there. That only I said you. It will come with sample code. I said you for you. It will come with a lot of sample code to you. Okay. What is this filter config, route config, bundle config? I'll tell you. Just understand what is present. That's all. I will tell you what is the need of every file when the time comes to you. Are you clearer or not? Just I'm trying to only show you the contents of the project. That's all. I'm not telling you what is the need of this file or what is the need of that file. Just trying to tell you what will be present in the project when you open it. Am I clear, all of you? So here you see 3 are there, but there only 1. You understood? Blank project has only 1, but this has 3. Okay, now? Next folder. What is the next folder? Sorry, just a minute. Look, guys, compare both. What is the next folder? No. You're skipping something. Content folder. So missing there. That only I said you. Blank project doesn't have that. So what is this content folder? Tomorrow, you're developing a web application. When you're developing a web application, in your web application, I just want to use CSS files. All of you learned CSS now? You know how to write CSS? Okay, you know how to write CSS now. Did you work with a ready-made CSS? May someone develops and gives you CSS, you can use it. Bootstrap. You know what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is ready-made CSS. Means without you writing the CSS, Twitter has provided you a something called as Bootstrap. If you install the Bootstrap on your computer, it will provide you all the ready-made CSS files and you can directly use them without writing the code manually again. We'll see how to work with Bootstrap also. We'll see how to work with the Bootstrap in our code. Okay. So all web applications today use Bootstrap in common. Every web application, Java, Python, .NET, whatever the web application, Bootstrap is common, jQuery is common. They are all commonly used in all the applications. Did you catch my point? And I will teach you how to use Bootstrap also in your applications. Don't worry about it. So by default, when you open an MVC project here, what happened, already Bootstrap is installed in this project. And all the files will be present on the content folder. So on the content folder is for storing all the CSS files. And already my system contains the Bootstrap installed. Check it out. The project already has Bootstrap installed. So all Bootstrap CSS files are present here now. And my first project is empty project. Because it is an empty project, it doesn't have Bootstrap installed. When Bootstrap is not installed, that is not there. Sir, if I want to use Bootstrap, what should install now? Did you catch my point? What you should do? You should install. If you install Bootstrap, it will create a content folder and add all the contents into the content folder. Are you clearer or not? Okay, to install also, you don't require to take any pain. It's a very beautiful thing. What if you want to install any third-party libraries or anything in the project? So guys, in the tools menu, you will be finding an option called as NuGet Package Manager. Under that, you'll be finding an option. What is it? Manage NuGet packages for solution. Once you click on that, it opens a window, and using this window, you can search for all the third-party libraries what you want and install them in your projects. By default, some packages are installed on my system, and if I go to browse, I can browse for any third-party packages. I want to install Bootstrap. Search for Bootstrap. When you search for Bootstrap, see it is giving you Bootstrap by the Bootstrap authors, and the current version is 5.3.2. Select it, and now on the right hand side, it will ask you in which project shall I install. Install me in this project. How to say? Select, install. Are you clear? And guys, I'm doing this in project 1 or project 2. Project 1 doesn't have Bootstrap now. So I'm installing it. So when I install, see now, you will have the content folder, and Bootstrap will be present in the content folder. Observe it. It will ask you for a confirmation. Done. Look, guys. Project 1 also has content folder now with all the Bootstrap installed, with all the Bootstrap installed. So come back again. Now I'll say uninstall. Check. Content folder is also deleted. It deleted the content folder. Once I uninstall the Bootstrap, content folder is deleted. So did you understand what is content folder? Content folder is to store CSS files. Bootstrap is to store content file is to store CSS files. Are you getting me or not? So if at all you want to store any CSS files, we go for using the content folder. Okay. So here, how to install? Understood the process? I'll explain you in detail about that NuGet package manager and all. Just to give an idea, you too can install. I've shown you that's all. But we'll have a separate discussion about what is NuGet package manager, what it will do, all the things I'll tell you separately. Okay. So I hope content folder is clear for all of you. So 3 folders we understood till now. What is it? App data, abstract, content. Next folder. Controllers, models, views. Just scripts, ignore it. Controllers, model. You have in both the 2 places. See? You have this in both the 2 places. The name itself is telling you, guys, if you want to define any controllers, all the controllers should be in the controllers folder now. Control is a class. We need to put in the controllers folder. Models in model folder. Views folder. Understood? Right now, empty project doesn't have any controller. Empty project doesn't have any models. An empty project doesn't have any views also. No, guys, there's no views also here. It's just a conflict. There's no view also. Nothing is all empty. But come here, you have a controller already. What is the name? Home controller. And also we have a set of views now. Do you remember the extension of the view file? What is that? See there, all the views. This is why if I create a MVC project now, you'll be confused with all these things. Why? We don't know how to create these particular files all automatically coming now. That is why the best way to start is always empty project. Manually add a controller, manually add a view, manually add a model. Understand everything clearly first. And later on, we'll go with MVC projects. So automatically ready-made code will be there. So we can do a customization and start working there now. Is my point clear? So clear with the 3 folders. What? Controllers for storing all your controller classes. Models for storing all your model classes. Views for storing all your view files. All your view files. All the view files. So see, right now, this project, which project? MVC project template came with some sample code now. Run and see, guys. It will open and show you all the things to you. It's a web application, runs on a browser. Desktop application launches a console now. Web application launches a browser. It launched a browser and opening the site. The site is running for you. Just a minute. It will load and show you all the contents. So it has a set of pages automatically created in it now. Right now you're on the home page. Click on about page. Click on contact page. Did you see them? 3 pages are created and given to you by default now. And these are the 3 things what you are seeing here. Watch. Look, guys. Index means home page. Home page is index here. This is contact page. Is about page. And when I click on the links now, the appropriate page is launching. Okay. So that is about that's about the 3 folders. What? One more folder we have. And we don't have script folder here, see? Array, we don't have script folder here, guys. Yeah. We don't see a script folder in empty project, but we have a script folder here. What is script folder? What is content folder for? And script folder is for JS files. Script folder is for JS files. Content is for CSS files. And script is for JS files. If all you want to store your JavaScript files, all will be under the content scripts folder. So by default, does it have a JavaScript code? Yes. Why? Here already jQuery is installed. jQuery is installed. Okay. Just like Bootstrap is automatically installed, jQuery is also installed. That's why you go to scripts folder. jQuery. Bootstrap also will have some JS files here. Bootstrap also will have some JS files. Bootstrap JS files, but mainly jQuery. All these are JS files only. See. And what we saw there is all CSS files. And right now the jQuery and Bootstrap are not present in my empty project. That is why I don't have a script folder or I don't have the content folder. One more time. Shall I install Bootstrap again? Watch, guys. I'm installing Bootstrap again and observe the folder is also kept open now. Oh, sorry. 2 I'm showing. I need to show this. Content is added. Scripts is also added. What is this? Bootstrap JS files. Once I uninstall, it will remove both the 2 folders now. Content also will be deleted. Scripts also will be deleted. Shall I uninstall? Come on, uninstall. Clear? It will add you and it will delete you. Once you remove, it will delete all the things also. So, is there any question about the folders, guys? 7 folders are there. I explained you all the 7 folders. App data, app start, content, controllers, models, scripts, views. App data contains local database files. App start contains the classes which runs when the application starts. Content contains all the CSS files. Controllers, controller classes. Models, model classes. Views, view files. Scripts, JS files. Scripts contain JS files. And when in the empty project, folders are present, but all folders doesn't have files somehow. And some folders are also not there. Going forward, we will do all these things manually only. Manually, we'll add all the required folders. If anything is missing, we will add all these things manually. Your video is lag. That is your internet problem, man. See, if you are only facing this problem, that is your internet problem. I cannot do anything. Okay, if the problem is not present for others, you are only facing this. Might be that is your internet speed. Yeah, tell me, Balaji, what's the question? Anything related to subject, I'm ready to answer here. Come on, fast, Balaji. Okay. So I hope you guys are clear with all the folders. How to create MVC project. What are you watching? I shown you, no? Now only I shown you how to create an MVC project. Is why I hate online sessions here. You people will be sleeping in the classroom, and again you ask me how to create. I shown you both the two projects here. Read the notes. Read the notes, or otherwise ask the admin for the video. He will provide you the today's video also. Either you are late into the session or you did not hear to me. Okay, so fine. So folders are clear. What next? Files. Some files are presented. Three files. All three files. Global.asx, packages.config, web.config. What is global.asx? All both are present here and there. Okay, now what is global.asx? Actually, this is the class. This is a class here. This is a class. We call this as class as an application class. We call this class as a application class. If you open the file, you will find the class. Array, what we call this as a application class. Basically, whenever the first request comes to the application, this is the class which takes the request. This is the class which takes the request. But sir, you said app start folder. Yes or not? Well, I'll tell you. Before I tell you that, what is the first method which executes in your class you learned in C#? What is the first block of code which executes in your class? Wrong answer. Static block here. The first block of code which executes in your class is static block, not main method. Who starts the execution? Main method. But main method won't execute first. Clearly shown you in the C#. Main method will start the execution, but main method will not execute. Starts the execution, but before it executes the code in the main, it will jump to static block, executes the code in the static constructor, and then comes back. So the first block of code to run in your code is a static constructor. What is that? Static constructor. Who starts the execution? Main method. Correct now? Here also same here. Who starts the execution? This class and this method. See the name of the method. In that, it is calling all the classes. See now. Did you understand or not? All the classes are called now. Which class? Filter config, route config, bundle config, all the classes means these all classes will execute. But if they need to execute, execution should start from MVC application, and then this method should execute. All of you clearly understand this method executes one and only one time. The name of the method is very clear there. Application start. And this method executes only for one time. And then this method executes. What is it doing? It is calling all the classes now. Which class? Filter config, route config. And all these are the classes that I shown you under app start. Did you understand the process? So first class to start the execution is MVC application. Now MVC application will call you all the classes which are defined under app start. Every class will do a certain set of activity. Okay. So I will show you in clear what will this class do. This class will, I'll show you about it. That's not the requirement. That's not the question now. Our question is, how does the application start the execution? First request comes to and invokes this method. Which method? How many times this method will execute? One time. What will this method do? This method is now invoking all these three classes. In filter config, there is a method called register global filters. In route config, there is a method called register routes. In bundle config, there is a method called register bundles. If you want to see that, go and check them. Check here. See them? Bundle config, register bundles, filter config, register global filters, route config, register routes. They're all static methods. All these methods are called to you automatically. So don't forget, execution starts with MVC application class. Then it calls you application underscore start method. Application underscore start method will now invoke all the classes which are present in app start folder. If app start contains one folder, sorry, one file, it will call you that class only. If it has three classes, three, five. See, I'll show you empty project. Empty project has one only now. Yes or not? One only. So that's a global basics. If you go and see guys, calling only route config dot register routes. Calling only route config dot register routes. It's not calling the others now. Why? They're not present. But MVC project has all three. So calling all the three. Understood about global.ash? What does it contain? What does it contain? A class called application. Okay. Yeah. So are you guys clear? What is that? Global.asx. So what it contains? A class called as application class, and that class contains a method called application start. Okay. So whenever the first request hits the application, it goes to MVC application class and calls the method application start. Now application start will go and invoke all the classes present under app start folder. If there is one class, it will invoke you that class only. If 10 class, it will invoke. But how many classes can be present there? I said you 5 only. Only 5. And as of now, we see 3. Reminding how to add them, I'll tell you. Okay, we'll talk about it. Next, packages.config. What is this packages.config? Guys, packages.config will contain the information of all the packages that are installed on your machine. Sorry, on this project. What packages, sir? You install Bootstrap now, jQuery. Tomorrow you want to know which version of the Bootstrap is installed, which version of the jQuery is installed. First, what is installed? I want to know now. And to do that, open the file packages.config, and here it will show you. Watch it, all of you. Here it will show you what is installed on your project already. It is showing you what it installed. Bootstrap, jQuery, jQuery.validation, something called Angular, MVC, Blazor, web optimization, web pages, .NET compiler platforms, validations, infrastructure, modernizer, Newtonsoft.json, WebGrease. All these are installed. These are all third-party packages. Some are Microsoft packages, some are third-party packages. All these packages are required for you to run your ASP.NET application. Guys, open the empty project also. Go to the empty project also. You won't find all these things there. These 5 are mandatory for ASP.NET application, guys. These 5 are mandatory for your MVC application. Remaining all the things are extras. What are installed there now? What? Bootstrap, jQuery, Antler, something is installed. These are all the extra things what we have. See, I started installing Bootstrap now. You go and install Bootstrap, that will add your information here. Shall we try one more time? Come on, again, go to new get. And I'm showing you installing, uninstalling for you. Okay. So guys, install, and that information should now come into the packages.config. Check it out. It was showing you install. So I want to install jQuery. Now come on, install whatever you want to install, guys. jQuery. Install. Installing, still going on. Are you clear? So tomorrow you can open this file and verify now what is installed on your project. Not only about that one, is the correct version available or not? Understood my point or not? Some versions say you are just trying to leverage a new feature and you know Bootstrap is installed, but you don't have a latest version of the Bootstrap now. How do you know that? Come here and verify. Are you having the correct version or not? Okay. So if you come here what is installed, see? That is the old version. But now when I install the latest version, did you notice it? Suppose one feature is working here, but the same thing is not working here. How do you know? Array, the version difference is there. See, that is 5.3.2, this is 5.2.3. So how to change it now? How to change it? You can update. How to update? Again, the same. Open the NuGet package manager. And here you get all the install libraries. Okay now? And you see here, third one. Alright, this is what is installed here. This is to install new. This one, what updates are available? Go to updates here. In the updates, it will show you all the updates. You have 5.2.3. The latest is 5.3.2. And same way, jQuery, what you have is 3.4.1 and the latest is 3.7.1. You can update all of them now. Are you clear? Simple process, guys. Select, install. See, what is installed? 5.2.3. So this is uninstalled and this is installed. You can uninstall and install, or when you click on install, that only will uninstall also. Array, when I click on install, it will automatically uninstall 5.2.3 and installs you 5.3.2. Just click install and it will do the work for you. Everything is automated here. You don't require to take in for all this particular thing. Developing up lots of resources are required for us. And all these things doing manually is time taking. So we have a lot of options available in the studio which will automate everything to you. Is that clear? And you see now you have the latest 5.3.2. And see, earlier, if you remember, it's shown you 9 updates are there, but now 8 only. One is updated. Still only 8 old should be updated. Clear with packages.config? Understood? Huh? What packages are installed, which versions are installed, all information you can find in the file. Last one. We call this as a configuration file. We call this as a configuration file. And some of you people already having knowledge on database programming, edu.net, have idea about it, but some people doesn't have an idea about it. Actually, what this web.config is, we call this as a configuration file. What we store in this one, this is an XML file here. This is an XML file. In this, we store all the values which requires changes in the future. Which requires changes in the future. What is it? In the top of all the web pages here, I'm showing my company name. In the top of all the web pages, I'm showing my company name, address, phone numbers, all these things I'm showing you. Site is ready, went to production. Everything is live now. Suddenly, your company phone number changed. You have 100 pages in the site now. You have 100 pages in the site. And your phone number changed off now. You require to update the site or not? How many pages? Wherever I have, I should update all these things. By mistake, if I forget one page, it will create a big mess now. That page will be showing you wrong number again. Am I correct? So without that problem, all those type of values are stored in this file actually. What is it? Company name. See, just like this. See, it is showing you, see, add key value. Same like this, we'll add a key here. See, add key is equals to company name. Value is equals to, write your company name here. Naresh I Technologies. I'm writing it now. Same way, address, add one line. Number, add one line. Email ID, add one line. So after adding all these things now, your application, without having static values here, your application will read the values from the file now. Will read the values from the file. Tomorrow, if you want to update the phone number, you don't require to update 100 files now. You need to update one place. Which place? And that too, this is text only now. Anyone can update here. Developer is not required again. If the change should be done in C sharp, who has to do? Developer should come into picture. But this is an XML file, a text file. Who can do, client also can do the change. Client doesn't require to contact me again now. Did you understand the benefit? If you need some logic change, compulsory client should contact the developer. Developer will tell these many hours are required to make the changes. And after making the changes again, testing all this process, finally the application goes to, it will take at least 1 or 2 months time now. But now the thing what I'm telling you, not 1 or 2 months here. Within fraction of seconds, the changes can come live now. So what the client can do, no need to contact the developer also. Simply, suppose a company name change there now. Come here, modify this name now. Save the file and close it. That's all. And run your site. This will automatically update you in all the pages. Did you understand me? So we call this as a configuration file. Okay, we will use this file a lot day by day in our code. I tell you in detail what we put, how to get the values and everything in detail to you. But are you clear with the 3 files also? 7 folders, 3 files. I explained about each and every folder and each and every file to you and what is the need of it. And I given you all in detail in your notes also. What we're learning? MVC 5. Developing an ASP.NET MVC 5 application. This is the last version of MVC from .NET Framework, and the next version is first named as MVC 6, but we have to change it to Core MVC. I said to this point in the last class, remember? First they called it MVC 6, but the name is changed up into ASP.NET Core MVC and after to .NET Core. So first let us learn working with ASP.NET MVC 5. Yeah. And all of you know how to install Visual Studio on your machine, but still I given that. And right now the latest is, don't forget, you need to choose 8.0. If you guys already have Visual Studio on your machine, and if you installed recently, you will have 8.0. If you would install earlier, you will be having 7.0. Just update your Visual Studios. Update the Visual Studios. And how to do that? Go to Tools menu, get Tools and Features. Get Tools and Features. All the old batch students, the current batch, okay, fine, but the old batch students, for you, we worked on 7.0. If anyone is in the old batch, we worked on 7.0. So for all of you, I'm telling you, go to Tools and Features. Go to individual components, and in individual components, select .NET 8 runtime. Is that clear, all of you? Earlier we have only 7, now we have .NET 8. So don't forget, select it and install it. And not urgent, because now we are working on framework only, so not important. When we go to core, and the day will use what? 8. That's it. No need urgently to do anything. Okay, now? But that is how you can update it. Yeah. And you know the installation process, but still I given you what to be selected and all the things in the notes. And here is our project creation process. I named it as MVC test project 1 and saved in our own folder. Actually, In the notes here, folder name is MVC. That's all. In your classroom, it is MVC 11, but in the whole notes, the folder name is MVC. Okay, it will be MVC only. You create MVC only, not a problem, because my system has multiple MVC folders. I just given different things, but you guys create the folder name as MVC only. No issues. And second project also I created MVC. Okay, now, and MVC project structure, by default, you'll be having a set of things here, empty project template, and select MVC checkbox or MVC project template. A set of files and folders are added in the project as following. First one, connected services, app data. This folder contains Excel, XML, these type of files will be present. Next, this folder contains a set of files which contains classes, and these classes get executed when the abstract folder can contain following files in it. And I mentioned a note also here. What is it? If you open the empty project, then abstract folder contains only routeconfig.cs file. Whereas if you open an MVC project, then abstract folder contains built-in config, filter config. That also I mentioned you. Clear? Same way content. This folder contain .css files. Images files also can be present there. Okay. And again, you see empty project will not be existing. If you go for MVC, a set of .css files will be present. What files? Bootstrap files. Bootstrap files will be present. Then we have controllers. Empty project, nothing is there. MVC project, home controller. Fonts. Actually, this was removed of right now. We are actually 8 folders. These are not 7, 8 folders. But this fonts folder was removed of recently. The fonts folder was removed off recently. Okay, it was not there right now, but earlier we used to have this fonts folder storing a set of fonts. But recently the fonts folder has been removed off. Okay, so I will eliminate it here. But yeah, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, what is it folder? Models, scripts. Sorry, wrong numbering. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 only, that. Where we missed it. Oh, connected services. It's not a folder. I just given a number like, okay, given the number 1. Okay. Afterwards, we have the files now. Global.asx, packages.config, and web.config. Total 7 folders, 3 files, and the first one is connected services, total 11 items. Understood all of you? So total we have 11 items present over there. Okay. Do one thing, guys. I'm not continuing it right now. We'll stop it now. All of you, try creating a project, both the 2 projects. Check it out. Is everything according to your notes or not? Is that clear, all of you? Is everything present according to your notes or not? Just verify. So tomorrow, I will start writing code. Coding will start from tomorrow. Okay, now? Let's stop here, guys. Let's meet tomorrow. Static files in the sense which doesn't change. Generally, CSS files, HTML files, CSS files, HTML files, we have them as static files. In every project, web.config is available by default. In every web application, web.config is by default. Admin not responding. Excuse me. Just all the off, everything outside. Yeah, I will inform him, guys. I will inform him. I will inform him so that he responds for everyone now. Web forms doesn't have all these folders which you have. Just add and see. Web forms will contain only abstracts and app code. That's all. All these folders won't be in the web form. Look, not admin. Connecting devices folder. No, we don't have connecting devices folder. Machine.config will be under machine here, not under project. Project will contain web.config, not machine.config. Machine.config is a part of your OS, not part of your project. So, guys, no worries. I will inform the admin right now. Now only I'll inform the admin so that he responds to everyone. Don't worry. He will be responding for every one of you. ఆయన నిద్రపోతాడు ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పిన రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వడు. ఇదిగో ఎంతమంది పెట్టారు చూడండి. ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పినా ఇదే తలనొప్పి అతనితో. చెప్పండి ఎంతమంది మెసేజ్లు పెడుతున్నారు. You need to contact the admins and the information is provided on the top, all of you. The information is provided on the top. Check it out. In that, admin number is available. Just now, I informed to the admin. He will respond for all of you. Permanent class link is not created here. We don't have a permanent. When it is created, we'll give you. We don't have a permanent class link still created. When it is created, we will provide you. Okay, guys, I will speak with the admin now so that he will be responding for all of you. Okay.